So okay, go on to plugins. Now obviously you need the plugins in the folder. I've got tweak at Z and pause at height. So go on to pause at height because that's what I want to do. I want to pause and stop the printing at a certain Z height. Tweak is so that you can change like printing speeds and other things at certain heights. We're going to concentrate on the pause at height here. Click down here and that puts it some options here. Now I do want to pause at 5mm. I want to move this to 0, move this to 0 and go almost all the way to the top in the Z. So that's where it's going to move the nozzle. This is pretty high to be set at 5 there. I'm going to change it to 4.5, which is I found is okay on my E3D version 6 hot end 0.4 nozzle. And then we could, if we wanted, add another one. See, we can do another one. These have to be in order, I believe. So this would be, say, 10mm. So I'm not actually going to do that one. I'm going to take that one off. And now I'm going to, and now I'm going to save the G code to my SD card. So basically there's only one pause there at 5mm, or should be. This is my LCD 128/64 display. It's cobbled together in this cheap old bits of cardboard sort of box that I put in. Let's go to print from SD because I put this on my SD. Layer change testing. Click on that. So it's going to warm the bed up to 70 degrees. The nozzle is set to 190. Well, will be when it comes on. So bed heating. And we want to be keeping an eye on that layer height there, the Z1. So we've got X, which is for some reason is changing to question mark. Well, all of them are. X, Y and Z are both. Well, all those three are changing to question marks. Don't know why, but anyway, we want to keep an eye on that Z1. So we've got X, Y and Z there. So it should pause at 5mm on here. So I'm going to wait until it's done its auto leveling and things like that, and then I'm going to come back and start videoing again. So I'm going to pause the camera now. Well, it's just coming in for its auto leveling routine. I'll just let you watch the start of this a little bit. I'm not going to show it all because really the probe comes down, touches down in the centre, goes back up, and then it tests 9 points to get a map, like a grid storage of the different heights of the bed, and then it can allow for those different heights of the bed while it's printing. Using a BL touch here, I have to say I recommend this, be no problems. So I'll just let you watch this touch down here. I won't show you the auto leveling routine. There we go. Okay, I'll pause the camera and then I'll come back after, well, when it's about to start printing. Right, I'll let you watch the beginning of this print. Now I do ask for skirts on this. That's just merely to get the filament flowing. So at 5mm this should pause, it should stop printing, and the head that we can see here, the nozzle in a way, should move to a certain position and the bed should move to a certain position. Just let this get started. Basically it's like a cylinder shape with some almost pegs on, just mark out different heights. Okay, I'm going to pause the camera now and I'm going to come back, like get to about 4mm on the display, and then I'll come back. Well, the display is 3.9 now, actually. You might notice that it is doing a hollow infill there. So it's almost like two cylinders, one inside the other. Let me show you the display. So 4.4, 4.5. I'll do some readings of that as it goes. So it's 4.7 now on the display, 4.8, should change to it, 4.9, now it's done, it's obviously about to change to 5. On the display it's good to say in the positions that it is going to go to, so 190, 00. Now we're not getting the question marks at the moment, so I don't know if it's just while it's not actually moving that it shows those question marks. Well, in a way it doesn't know where it is because it's not moving presumably. So the nozzle is going to where I asked it to go. This can go to 100. I asked it to go to 195, so there it is, it's parked there. The bed's gone all the way back. So this gives me an opportunity if I wanted to change the filament, etc, etc. Now I must give you a notice here that when it's paused here, let me turn this other light off, yes that's better, not so memory. Notice that the temperatures are maintained here. Okay, so it's still keeping the bed at 70, keeping the nozzle at 190. Wait for user, it's saying. Now what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to press this. This is the button here. Just a second. Put this other lights back on a bit. I'm going to press this button first. One press, and then it's starting back up. So what does the display say? If we can get the focus to stay in. So it's going to the height in a way that it was set at 5 there, and the positions it was set at. Sorry about the focus here. And here comes the nozzle coming down to resume printing from where it left off. There we are. Yeah, and it's still just starting to do the peg there, 5mm height peg, to show you the display. Sorry about the focus here, but resume printing, see? Now I'm going to try a different pausing method. I'm going to actually use this LCD 12864 to pause when it gets to the next peg, which should be at about 10mm. Now I'm unsure how well this layer will adhere to this other layer, because I'm not sure if my retractions might be a little bit too high and it's sucking up a bit of plastic. Then when it starts to print, it's not oozing out the plastic straight away, the filament there. Obviously if it's not oozing out the plastic straight away, it's not going to like start printing straight away, and it's not going to lay this next layer onto here. So I'm going to keep an eye on the display again, and when it gets to about 9.5, I'm going to ask it to pause the print using the LCD 12864. So all I did there to resume the print was press the actual knob on the LCD 12864. Just press it as if I was selecting one of the menu options. And it's on 7.5 now. I'm going to pause the camera a little bit. It's on 8.2 on the display. 8.3. 8.4. Yes, as I say, this is just pieces of cardboard super glued together. I know it's a mess, but it holds this display okay. As you see there, 8.8. And one problem may be doing this method. If I wait to 9, I've got to get into the menus and then select that and select the option to pause, which I don't know if it's going to, well, I presume it's going to continue on printing while I do that. So 9.3 at the moment. Let's wait until actual 10 before I try to select pause. .5. Let me just steady this box a bit. Sorry about the reflections here. 9.8, 9.9. Okay, I go into there, it's still printing C. Select pause, press it, and it has paused. Now one issue here, the head is remaining where it is, so that could be using plastic. Let's go back here. Well, it's gone back to the screen anyway, so it's actually paused at 10.1 there. Temperature again is remaining at 190 on the nozzle. Heat bed temperature is remaining at 70 degrees. So it's, the problem there is, you might even see it on this model, is it's almost making a lump of plastic right on the edge of that print there. See if we zoom in. Right, okay. So you might just about make that out there. Anyway, so let me go back to here, resume. It's saying resume in print, but it's not actually resume in print. It's not doing anything, it's paused. I'm going to press this button and it comes to here. Now select resume print, press it again, and now it's going back to its printing. Out of focus here, but this camera does cause problems if I zoom in. So you probably see there's a lump there on the right hand side where it paused using the LCD 12864. On the pause at Z it wasn't too bad because the nozzle moved out of the way, it did retraction and such like, but we'll have to check how well the layers adhere to each other. So let me just show you the display now. So you can see it says resuming print. We're at 11.4 at the moment. Bed and nozzle temperature remaining at the settings requested. 70 for the bed and 190 for the nozzle. Well, it's at 24.8 on the display, so it should be finishing off just now. See the blob there? That's when I did the LCD 12864 pause. Okay, it's been quite a while. Let's to let the bed cool down, etc. See how easy that comes off. I mean, all in all, it's quite a good print, I think. So it's basically a hollow tube. This has been printed hollow anyway, so it's extremely light. These are the pegs. These mark off 5mm, these sort of, well, pegs, steps here. And there's a blob there. That was on when I used the LCD 12864 pause command. Can that come off? Ooh. Well, it's not coming off easy. There's quite a few like bumps on here as it's going round. And let me try and kind of pull these apart, because that was one. There is a bit of very fine, well, a bit of a line there. That was the first when I said pause at Z. Now on my printer it doesn't start oozing out plastic straight away, so the code might have to be modified in my case, so the retraction's a bit less. But, it's creaking a bit. That's because it is hollow, and I mean I could crush that probably quite easily. Let's try and show you inside if I can. So all in all, pretty good, but this LCD 12864 has definitely left this big blob on here of plastic where it's oozed out, because the head just stopped in the position it was at when I selected that pause on the LCD 12864, and it's oozed out plastic. Alright, it's resumed print, I think, okay, although there is a line going along here. Presumably it's picked back up from that position. So that is a 10mm one when I did the LCD 12864. The other one seems fine there. I would worry about it like not oozing out plastic after a bit if it was just paused quite a while, particularly. So after twisting that blob off, it's left a bit of a mark on there, but it's not come out too bad. As I say, this is a hollow model, so well, I printed it out zero infill, so not really the best print. I just wanted to test out the pausing options and see what happened.